Hotel Mombasa. The conference, themed Leveraging the Potential of MSMEs and Technology for a Resilient and Sustainable Construction Industry, will bring together investors, inventors, and innovators in Kenya's fastest growing industry. Register as a delegate to explore groundbreaking innovations, meet industry leaders, and visit exciting construction sites across the coastal region. Visit our exhibition at no charge to explore a range of advanced building materials, construction technologies, digital tools, and smart infrastructure solutions that are shaping the future of the industry. Register now. The International Construction Research Conference and Exhibition from 25th to 27th, 2024 at Pride in Paradise Hotel, Mombasa.
Good evening, welcome to Prime Edition. I am Cynthia Nyamai. Now tonight, where we'll be giving you highlights on the G7 meeting, where what dominated that topic, it was actually succession plans for 2027-2032, and the leaders urging the Council of Governor Chair Anwar Guru to run for the top office. We do have that story for you, and we will be giving you highlights also of the UNGA conference. And in business, you've heard about smartphones. Do you know what a smart motorcycle can do? That will be in Tech One, and we will be taking you around the country with a very interesting tourism story. And in sports, we have lots of action for you coming up shortly. But first, let's have the highlights.
We've come a long way. We've learned together, played together, ate together, and prayed together. It's painful that all these moments are now but beautiful memories.
Emotions ran high during memorial service for 21 pupils who perished in dormitory fire at Hillside and Russia Academy.
Wale ambao wanapanga kuwasha moto mlima huu, nataka niambie watu wa mlima, Your Excellency, mlima huu una marafiki.
Go tell Rigiji, God is on the throne.
Azimio leaders declare support for DP Gachagua in his trying times triggered by possible impeachment.
We have taken the low-hanging fruits. The rest of issues will be completed in 1 month's time.
Back to lecture halls. Lecturers call off a week-long strife following the signing of a return to work formula.
And those who took advantage of that expression of democratic opinion to commit crime also and intended to access State House and take it over unconstitutionally.
And Interior CS Kithure Kindiki now claims Gen Z demos aimed at overthrowing the government. Our sign language interpreter is Brian Muraru. Now remember, we'd love to hear from you. You can send us your comments on KBC Channel 1 on all our social media pages, or you could send me a comment on Cynthia Nyamai. Now, a section of Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Alliance has declared support for Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua amid allegations of possible impeachment. Wiper Democratic Movement leader Kalonzo Musyoka claims there are spirited efforts within the ruling Kenya Kwanza coalition to entrench divisive in politics in the Mount Kenya region. This, as Gachagua says, the region is observing political events in the country and will not tolerate politics of betrayal. They spoke in Nyeri County during a memorial service for the 21 victims of the Hillside Endarasha Academy dormitory fire tragedy.
Debate rages over the alleged planned impeachment of a country's second in command. The deputy president is courting new allies, and the support is coming from the most unlikely quarters. Despite a request by family members of the 21 victims of a Hillside Endarasha Academy fire tragedy that politics be kept off the service, opposition figures Kalonzo Musyoka and Eugene Wamalwa could not resist the temptation to wade into the impeachment debate. Speaking in Gachagua's presence, the two said they would rally members of parliament allied to them to oppose any attempt to remove Gachagua from office.
But when the moment comes, aliyekuwa makamu wa rais mzee amelala, Mwai Kibaki will always be there for the people of Nyeri.
Leo tuko hapa kwa moto wa Endarasha, na wale ambao wanapanga kuwasha moto mlima huu, nataka niambie watu wa mlima, Your Excellency, mlima huu una marafiki.
Probably appointed to a possible alliance between the deputy president and the Azimio splinter group, the former vice president said the planned impeachment is tantamount to betrayal of the Mount Kenya region.
Go tell Rigiji, God is on the throne.
When he rose to speak, the deputy president responded to the impeachment threats with a quick quip.
People of the mountain are very good people. They are very trusting. And they are very kind. And they are very loving. They return love with love. They return kindness with kindness. They are very forgiving. But they don't forget.
And I will tell you a very simple thing, that we as a community are not known to stand and look at things. For every action, there will be a reaction. That's all I want to say.
But it was his choice of song when he concluded his remarks that pointed to his tribulations, opting to sing a Kikuyu hymn that calls on God to flatten one's enemies. Later, the Azimio group addressed rallies in Nyeri and Karatina towns, where they continued to defend Gachagua. John Jacob Curia, Prime Edition.
Thank you, Kyria, for that story. Now, to another story that we had highlighted earlier on. Emotions ran high at the Muiga Stadium in Nyeri County as families of the 21 children who perished at Hillside Endarasha Academy fire tragedy came to terms with the loss of their loved ones during a memorial service held hours before the interment of the 9 children. Calls for the Ministry of Education to review and enforce safety measures to prevent a repeat of the incident were made.
A somber mood in Muiga Stadium. Emotions and tears as the reality of what transpired on the 6th of September is beginning to sink. One by one, caskets bearing the remains of 21 children who were in the ill-fated dormitory at Hillside Endarasha Academy are brought into the main tent where the interdenominational memorial service was held. Even the song sung reflected the mood of a people thrown into mourning over young lives cut short by the tragedy. each of their names read out to the congregation as parents, pupils and the teaching fraternity paid tribute to the fallen young heroes.
Emmanuel Maina, creative and calm. Success Kingori, responsible and disciplined. Samvin Munene, cheerful and well-groomed.
We've come a long way. We've learned together, played together, ate together, and prayed together. It's painful that all these moments are now but beautiful memories.
We are strengthened as we remember the joy, laughter, love they brought into our lives.
PCA moderator Thegu Mutahi, the presiding minister of the service, underscored the need for support for the families who have been left with more questions than answers.
It doesn't matter. Government get to the root of it. The report may take long. But the parents here, your concern may not necessarily be who did it. Although there will be better closure if they knew what happened. But the Lord who whispers to his people is telling you, I walk with you.
Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua led the government delegation in condoling with the mourning families.
As the Lord had said in his sermon, if it were possible, much as none of us welcomes death, but if it were possible, it's much better for parents to be buried by their children.
Pigo hili lilikuwa ni pigo kubwa kama nyote mnavyoelewa, lakini nawashukuruni nyote kwa sababu kwa siku 20 mmeweza kutuwezesha kufika mahali hapa.
God does not answer questions. God answers prayers.
I am a mother, and I know the pain.
The Ministry of Education was accused of being lethargic in enforcing safety regulations in boarding schools.
We, as a ministry, are also carrying out an audit to establish if there was any omission on the part of our officers. I want to give the assurance, Your Excellency, that we will hold to account anybody found culpable for this incident.
Katika all the school dormitories, jameni msikubali milango ifunguliwe kindani. Iwe inasukumwa nje, at least watoto wanaweza kuescape.
Your hands are full, but prioritize the issue of protocols, the fire for the safety of the children of Kenya. That is equally important.
While 9 of the children were interred on Thursday, 10 of them will be buried Friday, while 2 will be buried on Saturday. The government hopes to reopen the school in the coming days to allow the resumption of studies, including KBC assessment for grade 6 learners. It is the end of a short story. The life of 21 children cut short by the fire tragedy at the Hillside Endorasha Academy. But as the parents of the 21 children go to intern the remains of these pupils, the big question remains, what happened here? And once the question has been answered, it will probably provide closure for the parents. John Jacob Curia, Prime Edition.
Interior Cabinet Secretary Professor Kithure Kindiki now says high-profile individuals, including politicians who sponsored Gen Z protests, will soon be prosecuted. Appearing before National Assembly Administration Committee, Professor Kindiki disclosed that the anti-finance bill protests witnessed in the country in June and July this year were meant to overthrow President William Ruto's government.
Interior Cabinet Secretary Professor Kithure Kindiki appeared before the National Assembly Security Committee and revealed the Director of Criminal Investigations will soon charge the individuals who sponsored the protests aimed at overthrowing the government.
We have a job to do, and we are not going to relent. I know there are people who want to politicize that exercise. We will be extremely firm and neutral. And I am informed by DCI that high-level prosecutions will ensue any time from now, of including political leaders who financed, and we have evidence they financed people.
Several members of parliament allied to Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua have been accused of sponsoring violent protests during the recent Gen Z demonstrations, which began as peaceful but later turned chaotic. Professor Kindiki defended the use of lethal force by police.
This government, and I say without fear of contradiction, does not condone extrajudicial killings, does not condone abductions by any person, whether a criminal or a law enforcement agency.
According to the Cabinet Secretary, there was a second attempt to burn down Parliament after the June 25th incident when protesters invaded the August House.
The Supreme Court was attacked, including the chambers of the Chief Justice, meaning the judiciary was also targeted. And those who took advantage of that expression of democratic opinion to commit crime also and intended to access State House and take it over unconstitutionally.
Meanwhile, the Interior Cabinet Secretary distanced the security agencies from the abduction of Delaware member of County Assembly Yusuf Hussein.
I'm a patriotic Kenyan. I love Kenya with the whole of my heart, and beyond this job, I will not be part of any scheme to harm an innocent Kenyan and present them to grave danger or even risk their lives. So I actually don't know who has these people, but whoever it is, whether criminal gangs, whether law enforcement agencies acting outside their mandates, we will get to the bottom of it.
Yeshoki Washira, Prime Edition.
Well, that's a story we'll be following up for you. The university's academic staff union, UASA, and the Kenya University's staff union, KUSU, have called off their week-long strike after a meeting with the interministerial committee led by the signing of a return to work formula. The agreement will see the employees in grades 13A to 15A get a 7% salary hike, while those in grades 10A to 12A will get a 10% salary increment by October this year. The employer is also expected to withdraw unconditionally the case in court against the staff and not victimize or take disciplinary action against those who took part in the strike.
After several hours of back and forth between the Interministerial Committee of Negotiations on one hand and the university's academic staff union and the Kenya University Staff Union on the other, an agreement was finally arrived at ending a week-long industrial action.
I want to tell the whole country that we have a deal.
We have gotten a breakthrough, and I can confirm that we have a deal.
Under the new agreement, the employees of grades 13A to 15A get a 7% salary hike, while those in grades 10A to 12A will get a 10% salary increment by October this year.
The Treasury had set aside 1.6 million, and a billion rather, and we've been able to add 800 million to bring the figure to 2.4 billion to start with, which will take care of the pending issues that have not been paid.
Retirement age for all KUSU members of staff in the teaching laboratories and the university librarians shall be harmonized and set as 65 years, while retirement age for all academic members of staff shall be harmonized as 70 years for graduate assistant, tutorial fellow and assistant lecturer, and 74 years for senior lecturers, associate professors and professor.
The Interministerial Committee will sit from 1 month, beginning of 1st October, to resolve the following pending issues: harmonization of other allowances, medical cover, internal CBAs, enhanced staffing in public universities and their constituent university colleges, budget for promotions, and budget for car loan and mortgage scheme.
University staff welfare is on top of our agenda. And so our academic programs will resume.
A national implementation committee comprising representatives from both parties of the union and the employer shall oversee the execution of the agreed details of the collective bargaining agreement. Yusuf Far reporting for Prime Edition.
Well, we will be taking our short break, but when we come back, highlights on UNGA and the presidential announcement that he made today, coming up shortly.
Pata the master flare kwenye star 570 hash option ya 4 na ushindi wako tunautangaza the 6th of October. Tucheze, tusaidie, tushinde!
Colgate Herbal is formulated from a unique blend of natural herbs and is scientifically proven to strengthen teeth and keep gums healthy. Try Colgate Herbal, scientifically proven for strong teeth and healthy gums. Colgate Charcoal, the charcoal toothpaste you can trust.
ASK Nairobi Trade Fair 2024 brings agriculture and technology close to you. And as KBC, we are on the forefront as we give you a historical journey of the broadcast industry and showcasing the strides made in the transformative digital media. Visit our stand on Ethiopia Road off Moi Lane for an experience like no other. KBC, the national broadcaster.
Talk about mpox and whether we should be worried.
We have two clades, that is clade 1 and clade 2. And that clade 1 was mostly between animals and humans. And that is what has been driving outbreaks mostly within Central Africa.
I myself currently know, but I do not even know anything about it. So I think I should do more even research it myself. But even the government should do more research and give us the public announcements back.
We have upped our surveillance. We have upped our screening. And we pray that there is no transportation of the same that will get into our country.
Recently, the World Health Organization declared mpox a public health emergency of international concern.
Welcome back. President William Ruto has called on the international community to discard what he terms outdated power structure at the United Nations and instead create a system of international cooperation that reflects the aspiration of all. The president said the global community must embrace a new vision of global solidarity that upholds the principles of equity and inclusivity. Making his remarks at the United Nations General Assembly in New York when he delivered Kenya's national statement, President Ruto pointed out that international cooperation is clearly limited and constrained by the entrenched systems and structures that prevent effective action and meaningful progress.
The world is at a challenging moment and in a most precarious international security dispensation. The promise of the United Nations Charter to save succeeding generations from the scourge of war has been profoundly shaken. From land to sea and from air to the outer space, global peace, security, and stability are increasingly under threat. The world cannot realize durable peace, security, and shared prosperity when emphasis is being put on what divides rather than what brings us together. We must therefore promote approaches that support positive competition for all.
The High Court will rule on the legality of the Affordable Housing Act on 22nd of October 2024. In their submissions to the three-judge bench, the defendants argued that affordable housing program would reverse the proliferation of slums that currently number 1,422 slums and costly land prices that Kenya ranks highly in sub-Saharan Africa. And as Ruth Wamboi reports, on the second and last day of the hearing, the defendants also argued that the high cost of rent forks about 60% of Kenyans' incomes.
Senior counsel Githu Muigai and Mahat Somani on Thursday led the defense team in vouching for the government's affordable housing program.
It leads to health issue in sanitation. It leads to insecurity problem. So our contribution are supposed to arrest that social problem. If this is not done, in another 10 years, likely most of us will be living in these slums. Or these slums will have encroached to wherever everyone is living.
They urged the court to look at the broader picture to appreciate the full benefits of the affordable housing for the larger Kenyan population.
Parliament having spoken to the Affordable Housing Act, I believe the petitioners would be barred from alleging otherwise in terms of its constitutionality and validity.
They told the Justice Olga-led bench that the program will also enhance social amenities in residences.
Who will live in slums, some who do not have houses, and therefore to ensure that their rights to dignity under Article 28 of the Constitution is guaranteed and protected.
In their rebuttal, the petitioners faulted Parliament for assuming that the priority of all the 55 million Kenyans was housing.
To do away with those functions, either they seek a transfer of the functions or they amend the Constitution. This is the supreme law. Any other explanation is a waste of time.
They just remain like that, illegal. We submit that the act that is under challenge, it is a process, it is a product of a poisonous tree.
They also urged the bench to consider the myriad of unconstitutional clauses in the act vis-a-vis the government's civic responsibility.
I submit that you cannot repeal an unconstitutional act because it is not law.
And I pray that this honorable court, my lord, saves Kenyans with a catastrophe which is likely to happen.
Justices Olga Sewe, John Chigiti and Josephine Mongare have retreated to draft their judgment and deliver it in 3 weeks' time.
We propose to deliver the judgment on the 22nd of October.
6 petitions had been filed challenging the various provisions of the Affordable Housing Act and were consolidated before they were heard by the bench, constituted by Chief Justice Martha Koome. Day 2, and the government has insisted that it's doing its obligation to arrest the slum menace in the country, even as the petitioners during rebuttal contested the move, saying the act has not pronounced itself on whether the right to pay is the right to own the property. All eyes are now set on the 3-judge bench. Ruth Wamboi reporting from Milimani's High Court.
2027 and 2032 succession politics dominated the G7 convention in Kirinyaga County. A section of women leaders urged Kirinyaga Governor and the Council of Governor Chair Nyamai Guru to vie for the top seat in the country. Abdiaziz Hashim with the details.
A month after launching the G7 strategy in Machakos County. The Women Governors Caucus converged in Kirinyaga County. Host Governor Nyamai Guru, alongside her counterparts Fatuma Chani of Kwale, Wavinya Ndeti of Machakos, and Gladys Wanga of Homa Bay, rallied support for more women to ascend to leadership and advance gender equality and inclusive governance.
Sasa gavana mama akitoka hapa Kirinyaga, atuachie mama mwingine hapa Kirinyaga ndio aendelee kuwa governor hapa Kirinyaga. We are going to aim higher and have after next election, we want to see at least 24 women governors.
While Governor Waiguru, who also chairs the Council of Governors, steered clear of 2027-2032 succession politics.
Mwaka wa 2027 tunaweza kuamka tukute namba zetu zimepungua kwa sababu kama mimi sisimami tena kiti ya governor. Na tukasema ya kwamba sisi tunataka tutoke hapa kwa G7 tuende mpaka G24.
Women leaders attending the forum think otherwise.
Tunataka kwa ikiisha utoke Kirinyaga uingie Kenya. Kuna wazee hapa wanasema ati ni wao watakuwa 2032. It shall be a woman president.
We want you to be our Harris Kamala. Sindio? Akwe Kamala wetu. Ndio.
Sisi kama kina mama tunasema baada ya miaka yako 10 ambayo unaenda kumaliza, tunakutaka na wewe ukuje Kenya, ufike Mombasa, ufike kila mahali. Ulisema ya kwamba you have an ambition ya kwenda mbele, si ndio? Nani anataka Waiguru asikuwe na ambition? Si ni vizuri awe na ambition? Kwa sababu Waiguru akiwa na ambition, anasonga, mama mwingine anaingia hapo.
The G7 strategy, launched in March this year, seeks to empower and support women leaders to demonstrate efficient, transformative and strategic governance. Despite Nakuru Governor Susan Kihika, Meru's Kawera Mwangaza, Embu's Cecily Mbarire not attending today's G7 meeting, the rest who have attended have vowed to crisscross the country and rally Kenyans to support devolution. Abdiaziz Hashim from Kirinyaga County, Prime Edition.
The Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission has arrested the Kiambu Land Registrar linked to the fraudulent acquisition of 667 acres of Agricultural Development Corporation land in Kitale, Trans Nzoia County. EACC spokesperson Eric Ngumi said Benson Limo, who was then the Nairobi registrar, is the mastermind behind illegal transfer of the public land worth over 1.3 billion shillings belonging to ADC. We will have that story for you again. A suspected motorbike thief was launched at the market along the Homa Bay-Kisumu Highway in Homa Bay County. Elsewhere, Kakamega Governor Fernandez Baraza has faulted political leaders who are concentrated on early campaigns, saying that they are being insincere with the electorate. Details in our county news roundup.
Suspected motorbike thief identified as Ibrahim Onyango, hailing from Kanyama, was attacked by residents frustrated by a delayed police response. There's been rising cases of insecurity, especially during market days on Thursdays, when thieves frequently target the market for motorcycles and valuables.
Huyu mjamaa nilikuwa tunamuona kama akona mpango fulani alikuwa anataka kutenda. Sasa alipokuwa akitaka kutenda hizi kitendo, ndio nikapasa sauti kwa yule wenye county council. Wakakuja, kumbe wanamjua kama mwizi.
Thursday when we have a market day, we have cases of thuggery and theft, particularly motorbikes.
In Kakamega County, Governor Fernandez Baraza opened an Ori Democratic Movement office in Shanda Market in Mumias East Sub-County. Governor Baraza said the Orange Party will open offices in 12 sub-counties to strengthen the audience presence in the county.
Chama cha ODM, lazima tuimarishe chama cha ODM hapa Kakamega, na tuko na mpango wa kufungua ofisi in every sub-county.
Elsewhere, Hundreds of Kajiado North residents in Kajiado County have benefited from a free medical camp organized by Pastor Dorcas Rigathi. The residents who flocked Nakil grounds in Rongai were checked for cervical cancer and diabetes, among other diseases.
Everybody who is in office, together with the church and everybody who God has endowed with resources, that we should be able to touch the needy and give them the health care that they deserve. That is why we had come today, and I believe that many will receive some services that they deserve.
And Kenyatta University Teaching Research and Referral Hospital has acquired 5 ultrasound machines for testing and treatment of cancer and other procedures. The equipment was bought through the Ministry of Health for 46 million shillings, adding to 13 the total number of such machines at the hospital.
We are hoping that in another 5 years or even 10 years, we'll be seeing a lot of patients with either without cancer or with stage 1 and 2 because of the awareness and maybe also the doctors sending patients for tests, earlier than before, just because the machines are available.
Finally, stakeholders in the healthcare sector have expressed their confidence in the sector's potential to treat complex diseases in the country and reduce the number of patients seeking healthcare abroad. They spoke during the 90th anniversary celebration of MP Shah Hospital in Nairobi County.
Our hospital has a state-of-the-art cath lab where we deal with all cardiovascular diseases, and we have been able to manage heart diseases in the most and best appropriate manner. Today, nobody has to travel to India or anywhere else. They can get the same heart treatment at the MP Shah Hospital.
Martini Maslin for Prime Edition.
Welcome back. It's now time for business. Kenya targets to net 607 billion shillings in diaspora remittance this year. The amount is a 50% increase on what the country netted in 2022 and will be supported by over 30 trade and investment agreements signed as well as labor migration deals with various countries.
Completed negotiations and signed labor migration agreement with Germany. Currently, there are ongoing labor migration agreement negotiations with Qatar, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Canada, and Australia. Kenyans who will benefit from such labor deals are among those expected to help the country push up the annual diaspora remittances from 400 billion shillings in 2022 to 607 billion shillings this year. The Office of the Prime Cabinet Secretary says trade and investment missions have been conducted as part of coordinated outbound and inbound trade and investment missions. Ian Muse for Prime Edition.
Logistics businesses involved in e-commerce, pharmaceuticals and perishables should explore leasing to enhance their efficiency. This is according to the Abelo Chief Marketing Officer, Mwadui Quinso, who says the high demand for swift transport services for food goods in the domestic and regional market that could be addressed through leasing.
The high upfront cost of acquiring heavy capital equipment such as aircraft, has slowed uptake of air services in countries such as Kenya. To navigate this, businesses involved in the supply of essential products such as pharmaceuticals, perishables, and fast-moving consumer goods, as well as supporting e-commerce services, are being encouraged to explore leasing services.
10% increase in regional connectivity will boost the economic development, plus 5% in terms of GDP, but also will bring more foreign direct investment, plus 8%, and also it helps to boost tourism. So that's plus 5% tourism boost for just this 10% increase in regional connectivity.
So we spend a lot of time understanding the risk around the customers we would be leasing to. It is obviously an integral part of our business. As we deal, at Abelo with smaller commercial aircraft, we also deal with smaller airlines. And on that point, what is extremely important for us is obviously the financial health of the partner, but also for us to know the management very well.
Africa is the largest market for turboprops, with over 80 aircraft of the type currently flying. Turboprops have capacity to operate in hot and high environments and paved runways, and can access the most remote airfields.
It can land anywhere,
and that's why it's been used in most parts of Africa, and strangely not enough in Kenya. Second, I think this aircraft, it's a regional aircraft with low emission, meaning it doesn't use as much fuel or kerosene as other aircraft.
They were speaking when Kenyan operator Renegade Air announced the introduction of the first ever ATR 500 aircraft that has been converted into a cargo configuration.
Players in the cyberspace are calling for a review of regulations governing the information communication and technology sector to effectively address cybercrime. Cyber Week Committee Chairperson Peter Orifa says there is a need for autonomous body to regulate and strengthen policing of the cyberspace.
The Communication Authority of Kenya says the country witnessed a surge in cyber attacks, with 860 million incidents recorded in 2023. To minimize cases of cyber attacks, ICT players are calling for tougher actions for perpetrators. The Cyber Week Committee is calling for creation of a semi-autonomous body that will regulate the cyberspace and offer legal redress.
Like the Israel, they have national cyber defense space that sits within the Prime Minister's office, which regulates anything on the cyberspace.
ICT players say the current laws should be reviewed and tougher penalties effected for cybercrime offenders.
Is guilty of such a thing. We do not have this kind of an act or a law that is inscribed in our constitution. How even the legal practitioners, how do they handle such kind of a situation?
Public and private institutions are being encouraged to increase ICT staff retention and offer frequent training to ensure continuity in maintaining and updating their ICT systems.
Enhancing and training our current members, and also providing capacity building so that they're able to know how to handle issues with terms of cybersecurity and ensure we don't have any attacks.
A huge potential for the individuals as well as for the national economy to capture this global demand for technological workforce, take the trainings, be it academic, be it commercial.
Institutions should also invest more on authentication software development to protect crucial data. Benson Rioba reporting for Prime Edition.
Imerahisishwa sasa, kuna njia mpya na rahisi ya kucheza Avieta. Dial *419# kwenye simu yako na ucheze wakati wowote.
The National Construction Authority presents the 5th International Construction Research Conference and Exhibition from September 25th to 27th, 2024 at Pride in Paradise Hotel, Mombasa. The conference, themed Leveraging the Potential of MSMEs and Technology for a Resilient and Sustainable Construction Industry, will bring together investors, inventors, and innovators in Kenya's fastest growing industry. Register as a delegate to explore groundbreaking innovations, meet industry leaders, and visit exciting construction sites across the coastal region. Visit our exhibition at no charge to explore a range of advanced building materials, construction technologies, digital tools, and smart infrastructure solutions that are shaping the future of the industry. Register now. The International Construction Research Conference and Exhibition from 25th to 27th, 2024 at Pride in Paradise Hotel, Mombasa.
ASK Nairobi Trade Fair 2024 brings agriculture and technology close to you. And as KBC, we are on the forefront as we give you a historical journey of the broadcast industry and showcasing the strides made in the transformative digital media. Visit our stand on Ethiopia Road off Moi Lane for an experience like no other. KBC, the national broadcaster.
Welcome back. There is a need for financial institutions to customize support for small and medium-sized enterprises to scale their businesses. This is according to Absa Bank Business Banking Director Elizabeth Wasuna, who says strategic networking and capacity building forums as well as financing are some of the support that SMEs need.
Absa Bank Kenya has in recent months been hosting business forums targeting small and medium-sized businesses. The lender has held the SME forums in the Mount Kenya region as well as Western and Rift Valley to offer a networking platform for the businesses to access markets, information, coaching, mentorship and sustainable finance. The latest such forum was held in Mombasa targeting small and medium-sized businesses drawn from the coastal region.
I like that Absa today is talking to the SMEs. This is a group years back which had been neglected by many banks, and the major banks, and what happened when that gap was created, because once you go there they ask for your financial statement and the SMEs did not have that.
The forum provides SMEs with an opportunity to learn about the latest industry trends, financial solutions and networking opportunities in order to encourage long-term business growth.
Forums like these are so important. We have quite a number of trainings that are happening, exposure to to export opportunities, forums where you can be able to interact with similar businesses. That is also very important. That's what we call capacity building.
Commitment as a bank is to ensure that we can constantly educate, constantly edify, constantly support with our proposition around financial and non-financial issues to ensure that you can face those anchor clients in a more proactive manner.
The economy of the coastal region heavily relies on tourism, with Mombasa County accounting for 4.9% of Kenya's annual GDP, with the counties of Kwale, Kilifi, Tana River, Lamu and Taita Taveta each contributing an average of 4.5%.
Commercial banks should integrate sustainability principles in banking practices to enhance support for Kenya's broader climate and socio-economic development goals. Kenya Bankers Association Vice Chairperson Betty Korir has also underscored the need for banking industry's adaptability in navigating economic downturns, geopolitical conflicts and technological disruptions.
Last decade, of course, the Kenya Bankers Association Sustainable Finance Initiative has successfully mobilized the industry players to integrate the environmental, social and governance or ESG principles and sustainable into our core operations by prioritizing sustainable practices as catalysts of growth. We then do have the responsibility to advocate for policies that promote fair and enabling environment for the sector, and of course contribute positively to the nation's development and transformative agenda.
We know that with a lot of natural resources, there is a low level of financial development. The financial intervention level, the financial assets created in the economy over the GDP, simple report, the levels become down. There will be low levels of financial intermediation. Instead of financial intermediation, you'll get disintermediation. That is, you can actually do borrowing and lending, overlooking without involving the banking sector completely. Okay, you can actually also use markets by actually being able to have instruments and bond analysis instruments that you can design legally and trade.
Marafa Hell's Kitchen stands as a breathtaking testament to the raw beauty and geological wonders that define the Kenyan coastline. Just a short drive from the bustling town of Malindi, this hidden gem beckons adventurers and nature enthusiasts alike to explore its mesmerizing landscapes. This week on Magical Scenes, we focus on attractions in Malindi.
A natural wonder, Marafa Hell's Kitchen, known locally as Satan's Kitchen, is a striking canyon formed by years of erosion and the relentless forces of nature. The vibrant hues of orange, red and yellow that adorn the cliffs create a stunning visual spectacle that changes with the shifting sun. As the day progresses, the colors dance and shimmer, offering a changing and enjoyable mixture or pattern of beauty that captivates the heart and soul. Tourists are greeted by a rugged terrain interspersed with unique rock formations and deep ravines, inviting them to embark on an unforgettable journey through this otherworldly landscape.
It's amazing. It's a surreal place. It's fantastic.
It's actually a mini Grand Canyon, and it is just amazingness of beauty.
The canyon's dramatic cliffs rise sharply, creating an awe-inspiring backdrop for photography and exploration. Marafa Hell's Kitchen additionally holds cultural significance for the local communities. The legends surrounding the canyon tells of ancient tribes and the spirits that inhabit the land.
Wageni wengi sana ambao tumefika nao hapa wanaenjoy na hii mandhari ya hapa na ile history ambao wanaelezewa.
Local guides often share these stories, enriching the experience for visitors and fostering a deeper connection to the area's history.
Hell's Kitchen is the epitome of tourism center. This season at least we are receiving 60 to 70 foreigners a day, plus the local tourists around this place.
As they traverse the rocky paths, the sounds of nature envelop you. Chirping birds, rustling leaves, and the distant call of the ocean remind one of the vibrant ecosystem that thrives in this unique environment. Marafa Hell's Kitchen arguably stands out beyond just a geological wonder. It is a celebration of nature's artistry and a reminder of the beauty that exists in our world. As travelers flock to this stunning destination, they are treated to a memorable experience that connects them to the rich tapestry of life that thrives in Malindi.
The first batch of tenants for the affordable housing units in Mukuru in Nairobi County are expected to take residency this December. Housing and Urban Development Secretary Engineer Benjamin Jenga says the first phase of the project is 99% done, with the contractor putting up lifts to serve those who will reside in the houses. The first phase is part of the 13,000 housing units being constructed in Mukuru. Engineer Jenga says 100,000 affordable housing units are currently under construction across the country.
The 5 blocks are ready, and these 5 blocks is where we started, and we anticipate by the end of this year, by December, we'll be giving out the units. We are targeting to give people who are in Mukuru, because we want to remove the slums within the country, and we want to start from where we are. What is now remaining is now the reefs, and the State Department has procured the reefs. They'll be coming before the end of the year, such that His Excellency the President will be giving out the units by the end of the year. We are doing so many projects across the country. If we start in Nairobi, we have Shaurimoyo, we have Starehe, we have Kibra that are within Nairobi. Near here we have Thika Bustani, we have Thika Dipo, we have Ruiru, we have Kikuyu. Across the country, we have so many units that are going on concurrently. Now we are talking of more than 100,000 housing units that are being constructed concurrently.
Did you know that you can access smart features such as telematics, smart acceleration and smart braking on your electric motorcycle? This is made possible thanks to embedded systems and also microcontrollers. On Tech One tonight, we show you how technology drives an electric motorcycle.
The Ministry of Energy and Petroleum puts the number of electric bikes and motorcycles at about 1,000 and counting, as the sector seeks a jump in popularity of electric mobility. Why are they popular?
There are certain things that the electric bike shares with the petrol bike. So for instance, things like the headlamp, the tail light, the indicators, those are shared across. Whatever is in a normal bike would be able to work here.
This is no typical motorcycle. It requires some sophisticated technology to run, as Arnold explains.
The battery is connected to a controller. The controller is a piece of hardware. You can reference it to an ECU in normal ICE vehicles or bikes or cars. So the ECU is what governs how the motor rotates. So when you change the angle of your throttle, it sends a signal to your controller, and then from your controller straight to your motor. So depending on that angle, it will interpret as it will send a signal to the controller, which will interpret it for a particular speed.
Sensors, wireless connectivity, battery management and even artificial intelligence, which enables features like adaptive cruise control, collision avoidance and predictive maintenance, controls this machine, and users are happy with the applications.
We'll be able to monitor battery temperatures for safety reasons. We can be able to monitor location, how quickly is the battery discharging over time, what distance were you able to cover, how long did it take to charge. Those are all parameters we're able to measure.
As the government pushes for more e-motorcycles to drive electric vehicles adoption and create jobs, there are a few considerations to consider in this space.
The biggest thing I think would be for people of monetary institutions, banks and such organizations, if they can be able to offer that support or be a bridge between us and the consumer, I think would be able to speed up the adoption of this.
Kenya is currently looking to drive EV technology growth through an e-mobility sessional paper currently in the National Assembly. Alanauko, Tech One.
Story that we had earlier, where the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission has arrested the Kiambu land registrar linked to the fraudulent acquisition of 667 acres of Agricultural Development Corporation land in Kitale, Trans Nzoia County. The EACC spokesperson, Eric Ngumi, said Benson Limo, who was then the Nairobi registrar, is the mastermind behind illegal transfer of the public land worth over 1.3 billion shillings belonging to ADC. The
Kiambu Land Registrar Benson Limo was arrested on Thursday at his home in Nairobi West in an operation also conducted at his Kapenguria residence. During the operation at his Nairobi home, officers from the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission recovered volumes of official land transaction documents, including blank certificates of title deeds, blank green cards, duly processed title documents, stamps for advocates believed to be for use in effecting fraudulent land transactions.
Benson Limo, the senior land registrar in Kiambu County, is the chief architect accused of masterminding that scheme that led to the illegal transfer of 667 acres of public land worth 1.3 billion that belongs to ADC. And that senior land official was today arrested in his home at Nairobi West.
EACC says the investigations, targeting 8 individuals including senior land officials and private individuals, were simultaneously conducted in Kiambu, Nairobi, Nakuru, Uasin Gishu, Siaya and West Pokot.
The Commission has undertaken a successful investigative operation targeting 8 individuals, including land officials and private persons.
Limo is among 42 land registrars nationwide under the EACC radar for fraudulent dealings and corruption in land administration.
The Commission conducted an operation that focused on various targets across 6 counties.
Limo is currently in custody and has recorded a statement at the EACC headquarters at Integrity Center in Nairobi. For Prime Edition, I'm Jael Wakesho.
Marketing in the lens of technology is our topic tonight. And in studio I have Henry Mwangangi, who is a digital marketing strategist. Thank you so much for joining us. When we talk about marketing in the lens of technology, what exactly does that mean?
Right. When you talk about marketing in general, it's about awareness.
Yes.
Now with technology, there are platforms and there are ways in which you can navigate the digital landscape and enhance your marketing strategies.
Yes.
So I represent a company called Balozi Technologies. At Balozi, we are a startup that connects service providers with clients and clients with service providers. We have over 100 categories of services. That's the services that you wouldn't find.
So you're offering 100
over 100
services.
Yeah, that's like Mama Fua and all that. So we've come up with a platform, which is an application, a mobile application, to help ease the access of these services.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so that's one way you can market yourself online.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what's the advantage of marketing using technology over just the traditional ways?
Right, so first, the reach, right? So traditionally, you'd have to maybe print flyers or maybe use TV, radio, and all that. With social media, we've overcome barrier. There's no geographical barrier, and we've managed to use such features as artificial intelligence to narrow down to the specificities of maybe a specific service provider. For instance, if you're looking to hire Mama Fua, for instance.
Yes.
So with the use of technology and the use of social media, you can filter based on the prices, the location, and get the exact service provider that you want. So that's one advantage of using technology rather than the traditional ways of marketing.
And is it cost effective? Because when people hear technology, they think about cost. How cost effective is it?
I mean, it's the same as you would if you were doing other ways of marketing, because everything is shifting. We live in times when everything is digital, right? Even the way you eat, the way you move, the way you work. So if at all anything, it's making it easier at almost the same cost or even cheaper, because when you talk about cost, it's not just monetary, it's also about your time. So for instance, if you were to look for a fundi manually, it would be very time consuming, which is not even effective in terms of cost. But if you were to use technology while doing other things, maybe in corporate or at home, you can order this particular service provider while at the same time doing your other stuff, like working online or something of that sort.
So affordability is one of the main issues why you offer the services that you do.
Yes.
Take us through the wide range of the services you offer in Balozi.
Let me start with why the idea at first, because the idea of Balozi was born from a need, right? So our CEO and founder, Steve Nganga, was building a project in Nakuru, and he was trying to source for a fundi for the construction project. Now the challenge came when he tried to get a reliable fundi. He was referred to someone, and then the person that he was referred to failed. So he had to, having worked in the tech space, even for companies in the United States, he came up with this idea that why not have this person that is vetted with the relevant certifications and is reliable and available through this platform. So he came up with Balozi. And now the reason we have a very wide range of services is because we want it to be as efficient as possible, right? So it's all the services that you may need, whether it's even an electrician or a plumber. There are those services that you need at times and they are not easily accessible, like your car breaks down in the middle of the road at night. What do? You start calling a mechanic, a comteja, they are off, or something of that sort. So the wide range of services is to cater for the many needs out there in the marketplace.
And that would, it actually sounds more like Uber on steroids, especially with the many types of services. Then how do if I have the app, how can I be confident that the service providers are professionals and can be trusted? Is there a vetting process?
Exactly, yeah. At Balozi, security, first of all, is our priority, because we understand that these are people we're going to send to people's homes or to go and meet people even at workplaces. So the first process of becoming a pro, when you're signing up as a pro, that's what we call our service providers, is the vetting process. So we ask for your mobile phone number, which we verify through a one-time password OTP verification, then your email address, then your government ID, then your profile picture. So we know who we are specifically dealing with, and we verify your details, the ones that you've added on the app, and the ones that are on the government ID. And then we work closely with security people. We also ask for certifications. So it's not just a place where you're going to say you do this, yet you do not. It's a place where you're going to say I do this, you're going to prove that you do this, and then the team at the back end will verify your identity, verify that who you say you are, and then you proceed to be on the app. Then, once you started offering your services, we have a program whereby the clients can now rate you, which helps us, which helps the other clients to know that this person delivers. So it's up to the pros to do good jobs so that their ranking goes high. Like you said, it's like Uber on steroids. So the rating system helps us to know who is doing good, who is doing what, and then we are able to even this morning we actually had to ban one of the pros because they misbehaved. So we closely even monitor the conversation that goes on, because there are people who also, not just the pros, even clients who want to use their application for purposes other than the intended purposes. So we do not tolerate such. We deal with such cases right away. So we ban you, and protect the consumer. Because if anything happens, Balozi is responsible and liable.
Yes. And for the pros, I've now learned a new term. For the pros or the service providers, is there a fee that they have to pay? And also, once they join, does one also have to perhaps pay a certain percentage of what they make from the various consumers?
When you talk monetization, at the moment, Balozi is not charging any fee to both the clients or the pros. It's free for now, but we are working on a monetization model. It will be very affordable, of course, to the consumers. We are in the phase where we are onboarding people. We have over 60,000 downloads on Play Store. We have over 2,000 service providers, over 10,000 clients. Now, we are constantly working on our model. When it comes to the monetization model, we will, of course, use those which have been developed before,
Yes.
that work in such a way that once you've been given certain jobs, you've gotten like 10 jobs, now you owe the company a certain amount, a certain percentage, which is going to be very affordable, because it's about getting people jobs and the efficiency of getting these people.
And for the consumers, then, how do they access the services of Balozi?
For the consumer and the pro, they both have to be on the app, but you can also access us on balozi.com,
Yes.
our website. So if you are a consumer or a client looking to hire a pro, it's very easy. You download the app, it's on Play Store, it's on Apple Store, and then you sign up or sign in if you're already registered, and then you filter. There's a search filter system whereby you can filter the pro you're looking for, the category, and then once you click on the categories, you get the different pros in that specific category. You can filter by location as well, see who is maybe near the CBD or near Kilimani, wherever you are. And then there's also another filtering system based on the pricing, because the pricing varies. So you choose whichever works for you, and then voila, there's a chat feature, there's a call feature. Yeah.
Yes. And how far is your reach? I know we used Uber as an example, and they're still not throughout the nation. How far is Balozi's reach?
So far, we are in Nairobi, Mombasa, and Nakuru, because we are barely 2 years old. And we are looking to expand. Recently, we've been getting calls from places like Meru, Nandi, because we are constantly marketing online as well. So there's the need for it. But so far, the major places where you can find a lot of pros is Nairobi, Mombasa, and Nakuru.
Yes. So even with the counties opening up, that has been an advantage for Balozi over the last 2 years.
True.
Yes. And are you also looking to expand beyond Kenya?
Yes, we are, and we are also constantly looking for partners and partnerships, and we'll be glad to share that just a few weeks ago we were able to partner with one of the leading employers in the country. Actually, they are training people on these skills, the digital skills, that is digital marketing. And these are the service providers that would not otherwise be digital. We are talking about nail technicians, salonists. So we've partnered with them sort of to efficiently train these people and onboard them on the Balozi app. So with that partnership, and if others come, we are looking to, first of all, become a household name in Kenya, and then we can think of East Africa and maybe the Sub-Saharan Africa.
Yes. How are you attracting the service providers? Because some of them who have been in the industry for a longer period, well experienced, definitely have their customer base. Why would they want to join Balozi?
Because I mean, if you're getting more ways of increasing your reach, I would say that's a plus. You wouldn't say no to more jobs, would you? More money, that is.
But
so
money that you have to share. For those who are experienced and have their customer base, what would convince them to join?
Because one, you get to reach clients that are outside your base. First of all, and you're also becoming part of the movement of technology. Everybody's shifting. That is what should be on top of everyone's mind. If you look at a place like Nairobi, where most people order everything. You order a cab, you order food, you order this and that. I would advise them, if you're a pro and you're a seasoned pro, you have your existing clients, those existing clients will move to Balozi. And to reach them, because of the competition now, you would have to be as well on board of the Balozi app to be able to be booked by those particular clients.
Yes. One of the interesting things about taxi companies like Uber and Bolt is that they actually charge lower than other, say, taxi drivers. Is that an advantage that people will also get on Balozi?
Yes, and our CEO spoke on this. He said that because our model is almost similar to those companies you're mentioning, we will be giving the lowest fee possible to help these people get jobs, because most of our pros are actually people in need, where people that are in desperate need of job and they have jobs and they have the skills. So we wouldn't charge them exorbitantly high. Would definitely we were actually talking figures, and we said, for instance, if you get like 10 jobs and that's an average of like 10,000, if you're charging 1,000 a job, we would charge you like 500 shillings or 1,000 shillings. That's very reasonable, considering that we are getting you the clients, and that applies only after you've gotten the clients from the app.
Yes, you mentioned about pros now having a bigger customer base when they join Balozi.
Yes.
Do you have success stories of where businesses have changed for the pros and actually increased or expanded?
Yes, we do have success stories, and there was some we ran a few weeks ago on some feature stories, and we've seen people even calling us and saying, you know, they were booked. You know, sometimes we don't even know when these people get booked, because there's a lot of bookings going on. We're getting like 100 to 200 downloads a day. So people have come back to say, yeah, and because now it's free, people are jumping on it. So yeah, definitely there are people getting jobs through the app, and there are people who are getting service providers through the app.
Yes. And what kind of training do the pros go through?
Oh, the trainings. Yeah, we have regular workshops at our offices. We just give them the basic trainings, how to use the app and how to conduct yourself as a client. Normally, we do not train people on the job because we take professionals. So we are looking for people with experience. For instance, if you were to book a driver, you wouldn't want a driver without experience, right? So the sort of trainings we give them are the basic trainings on how to harness technology,
how to handle your customers and so on.
Yes, how to respond swiftly. And we have a customer care support line that is open 24/7, catering to those needs.
Yes, this is a pretty new industry and also business in Kenya. Have you been getting support from the government, and what kind of support would you like to see new businesses like yours getting?
So far, we've not yet gotten any support from the government, but I'm sure maybe in the future we'll be open to collaborations. And businesses like ours would maybe need financial boost, because they are helping people get jobs. They are helping ease the service provision industry, and with the help of the government institutions that, you know, have this access to even the people that have been trained. The institutions have this access to this manpower. We could collaborate. Mostly partnerships, and then financial help would help push this idea to more places in the country.
Yes, thank you so much for joining us. That was an interesting conversation, marketing in the lens of technology. Now we will be shifting gears, and up next we have sports.
Pata the master flare kwenye star 570 hash option ya 4, na ushindi wako tunautangaza the 6th of October. Tucheze, tusaidie, tushinde!
Sasa ndio tuko shule sasa. Hapo mbeleni kidogo ni kama tulikuwa tunasomea kwa ploti.
Punda si punda. Speaking of the devil,
it's more like an angel but without wings. It is not fair to say that average recognizes average.
Hey, that was very, very fast. Mombasa, here we come.
Maji ya bahari, here I come.
Wallahi, Waitito, this is not fair. Fair? There's nothing fair in this life, my friend.
No, not my 12 land. I give Allah.
Harambee Stars are set to face Cameroon in October before hosting the return leg in Kampala in mid-October. Catch the matches live on KBC Channel 1 as both teams chase slots for the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations live on KBC Channel 1, your true sports partner.
Good evening to you. My name is Daniel Wahome. Time to get the sport. The Rising Stars provisional squad for the upcoming AFCON Under-20 CECAFA qualifiers has been named ahead of the tournament, which is scheduled to take place from the 6th to the 20th of October in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. The team is already in residential training in Nairobi.
The team include, among others, strikers Aldrin Kibet of Nastic Soccer Academy, Louis Igamvi of Montroville Academy, Mark Shaban of Gor Mahia, Abdallah Ngesa of Bidco, Amfri Aoko of Highway, Dalphine Omuri of Shambana and Izani Mohammed of Bandari. Upcoming showstopper Ibrahim Wanzala of Kakamega Homeboys, who was instrumental in the CECAFA Under-18 Championship, is among the notable inclusion in Salim Babu's squad, with Kibra Stars Joshua Kea, Sami Sobole of AFC Leopards and Peter Juma of Nakuru Bahaks. The midfielders include Elio Wande of Al Nasra, Stanley Wilson of AIK, Andreas Odhiambo of Kariobangi Sharks, Lucas Maina of Muranga Seals, Kelly Wadanda of AFC Leopards, and Kelvin Wangwanya of FC Triana. Misingu High School Hiran Moshindi and Houston Olioch also made it to the provisional squad. Amos Wanjala of Athletic Club Tolerano is among the defenders, who also include Mazuru Kwamo, Baron Ocheng of Sopapaka, Rogers Wasenga of Nairobi City Stars, Francis Githui of Naivas, and Jackson Imbiaka of Mombasa United. Kenya has been drawn in Group A alongside host Tanzania, Rwanda, Sudan and Djibouti. The Kenya head coach Salim Babu, who will be assisted by Antonia Holia, say they aim for nothing short of qualification for the continental tournament. For Prime Edition Sports, I'm Daniel Mwendwa.
And three-time Olympic 1500-meter champion and world record holder Faith Kipyegon will be among the star-studded field that will grace the inaugural Atlas women's only track meet at the Icahn Stadium in New York, where approximately 7.7 million shillings will be at stake for the winners. Kipyegon will lead her compatriot and fellow Olympian Susan Ijora in the 1500 meters against 5,000 meters world record holder Gudav Segai and her Ethiopian compatriot Diribe Welteji, USA's Cory McGee and Britain's Katie Snowden. While the 800-meter champion Mary Mora will be the lone Kenyan in the 800-meter race, where she hopes to prevail over 2019 world champion Halima Nakai of Uganda, while indoor champion Sige Duguma of Ethiopia, Jamaica's Natoya Gould-Toppin, and the USA duo of Nia Ekins and Eddie Wiley. 36 athletes will be in action across 6 disciplines. That's 100 meters, 200 meters, 400 meters, 800 meters, 1500 meters, and 100-meter hurdles, where only 6 athletes will feature in each race. The Atlas NIC was conceptualized by Alexis Ohanian with the aim of promoting women in sport. The time, 2:30 a.m. East African. And 1,800 participants have registered for the 3rd edition of the Jubilee Grand Nairobi Biking Race slated for Sunday in Nairobi. The officer in charge of road safety in Nairobi County, Boniface Otieno, says several roads will be closed, including Langata Road, the Nyayo National Stadium Roundabout, Bunyala Road, Lower Hill Road, Haile Selassie, Uhuru Highway and Parliament Road to ensure the safety of participants. The race aims to create awareness on environmental conservation. Participants are drawn from, among others, Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Burundi and Rwanda.
We are going to take Lower Hill Road. We'll go along the Lower Hill Road behind the British High Commission and join Haile Selassie Avenue near Ministry of Agriculture.
If you don't disturb traffic and people complain that you haven't really done anything for 6 hours, they will be feeling us. So I think we are very happy that we will do so securely and safely.
League One, Bolton Wanderers 5-1 to reach the fourth round of the Carabao Cup, thanks to, among others, teenager Ethan Nwaneri's brace. Liverpool also beat West Ham by the same margin, with Diogo Jota and Cody Gakpo on target twice each at Anfield.
As well, linking nicely with Nichols. Early ball in. Bolton, no, that's a mistake. Here's Rice, opens up and scores.
What a finish from Rice.
That's a clever ball. Sterling's timed his run. This could be 2 now, and it is! Arsenal make it 2-0. Jorginho tried to find Saka. Here's Rice again in a bit of space. Now Sterling cuts inside, opens up, shoots! Forces the save out of Southwood. It was a good height for the keeper. Oh, that's well read by Rice. And Nwaneri's in again! And he scores again! Arsenal lead 3-0. There's a second goal for Nwaneri. Good. And Skelly joining, lovely skill. Trying to float a pass through. Didn't work. Now Bolton can break. And he's on his own here, is Collins. He's right on goal, he's gone round the goalkeeper and he scores. Bolton just trying to make things difficult. They're still hanging on in there in this game. They're 3-1 down. Oh, it's Saka again. Nice skill, looking for an option. Still Saka drills it across, it just needs a touch. And Arsenal have got the fourth goal. They're trying to keep possession, good feet. Done well there to hold off 2 challengers.
As they were held to a 1-1 draw by Twente in their opening Europa League campaign, Nice drew 1-1 with Real Sociedad 2 as Bodo Glimt beat Porto 3-2 in the other match.
Knows it. Stroke pass by Mazraoui to his captain Fernandez into the penalty area. Good leap up there it was. Set up Xerxes with a chance, but all the good work was done by Martinez. Get into the box, looking for Dalot's advance. Eriksson arrives, brilliant! Deadlock broken after 34 minutes. It's a sensational finish by Christian Eriksson. This is a strong one here by Park van Rooij. Took a good challenge to stop him by Agate, but it's broken kindly to Lammers. Can he finish this time? Yes, he can! And Manchester United, guilty of giving the ball away, have been caught on the counter, and it's 1-1. Boots to fill, those of Evan Nilsson. And Samu trying to get his head on the end of that, and does! And his scoring run continues. Up towards Jens Hauger, who flips the ball through. The flag has stayed down, and it's an equaliser from Kasper Høeg.
That's the sport for tonight, and result from the Atlas meet. We'll be giving you that tomorrow. And also remember, Rally Chile is on this weekend, so we start our coverage tomorrow. My name is Daniel Wahome. Back to Cynthia Nyamai.
Well, that marks the end of the news tonight. From me and the rest of the team, we do want to wish you a very good night.
hour of need, when I was so lost, so lonely, you came to me, took my breath away.
Uzangu watazamaji, katika sababu zingine zinazosababisha moyo unakuwa ni laini, iyadatul